All right, I've created the best way to do research on eBay. We started off with $100 plus column with the sold, sort of from largest to smallest. We're going to go for the sell through below 40%. And then we're going to go for, let's go to the sell through column in the all prices category. And we're going to select 41 to 70%. This usually ends up with us having brands that still have a lot of volume in them. But we're essentially going to be trying to find out if there's any grails or anything about the brand that we might want to learn more about. Let's scroll down a little bit. Let's do Fred Perry. Fred Perry has great volume. That's 4,000 sold and 9,800 listed. That's pretty good volume. Most of it's bound up between $0 and $35, but we still have some volume above that, and we got 65 solds above $100. Let's go and learn more about Fred Perry. Go to search bar up here, get our brand isolated. We're going to clear our filters, just go through the listings, go through the different categories. T-shirts, there's not a whole lot of solds in here. That's 241 solds with 933 listed, but there is some volume. Most of that is bound up between $0 and $35. If you find these for $1, you may be able to pick them up and get them sold for cheap, but you do not want to bank on Fred Perry T-shirts doing well. Pre-owned button-ups, there is more volume here. We got 1,254 solds with 3,279 listed. 932 solds with 1,400 listed between $0 and $35. We do still have some sell-through between $35 and $60, but not quite enough. You always want to try and stay out of the red. If you're not sticking with yellow or green, you're having problems. The 40 to 70% sell-through rate is in the red for a reason. Make sure you're being careful. With 297 solds and 650 listed, there is some money to be made there. You may be able to find some certain styles, certain sizes, certain materials that do sell better, but you're going to have to do the research. Above $100, we only got 4 solds. That's almost a 0% sell-through rate. So listed, we got 1,097. That is almost no money up there. That is also a lot of people trying to oversell their item. Do not get locked up into that. The men's pre-owned polos, we got 1,590 listed with 928 sold for 58% sell-through between $0 and $35. That's not terrible. There is money to be made there, but I would probably stay away from it unless you are getting the good stuff. You're going to want to make sure you have the right size, the right patterns, the right materials, and you're not getting an item that has any damage on it at all. You're also hobbled by the fact that you need to have an absolutely perfect listing to make sure your listing stands out from the others. I would not be picking up polos from Fred Perry unless you're doing extra work to find out what is selling better up here in the higher end ranges. That's only a 4% sold rate for $100 plus with 82 listed and 4 solds. 56 solds and 177 listed between $60 and $100. Not quite good enough. We only finally maybe just start touching the concept of a decent sell-through rate here, $35 to $60. That's 322 sold to 790 listing. So that actually is some volume right there. You would be banking on the fact that a lot of these people over here in the listed category do not have good listings. You need to have good listings if you want to be part of this 322 sold. You don't have a choice. Dress shirts, we have almost no volume here. That's 6 solds and 35 listed. It seems like given the difference between button-ups and dress shirt volume, you're going to want to make sure that you do not list in the pre-owned dress shirts category for Fred Perry. Put them in pre-owned button-ups. Coats and jackets, they do make them. The 0 to 35 range actually has good sell-through. That's 167% sell-through between 0 and 35, 67 sold and 40 listed. And we actually have pretty good sell-through all the way up to $35 to $60 with a 91% sell-through rate. We got 193 sold with 210 listed. And above $60, our sell-through rate drops off a lot. 52% sell-through rate with 145 sold and 278 listed. 44 sold above $100 and 713 listed with 6% sell-through rate. Pre-owned suits, pre-owned jeans, nothing there. Pre-owned sweaters, the Fred Perry sweaters actually do have 100% sell-through rate between 0 and 35. That's 228 sold with 228 listed. 100% sell-through. Our sell-through drops off a cliff between $35 and $60, but we have pretty decent volume on the solds. That's 255 solds with 486 listed between 0 and 35 and $60. Excuse me. Volume drops off, and so does sell-through rate above $60. So be careful about that. 0 to $35 on swimwear. They do make it. It does not have high value, but it does have good sell-through. That's not a whole lot of volume here. Don't find 50 pairs of these and expect you're going to get all of them sold. Just be careful. Activewear is a pretty broad category. Let's go into hoodies and sweatshirts. Hoodies and sweatshirts between $0 and $35 have 80 sold and 65 listed with 123% sell-through rate. $35 to $60, we've got 57 solds and 132 listed with 43% sell-through rate. You're probably going to want to keep down on the lower end range right here. Don't pick these up for too much. Maybe $5, $6 is probably going to be your max with hoodies and sweatshirts. Activewear tops is going to be like quarter zips. I do know Fred Perry does make polos that have an actual quarter zip on them instead of buttons. A lot of people may end up putting those in activewear tops when they actually should just be in the polo section. Activewear pants, you may find some sweatshirts from some sweatpants from Fred Perry. They don't have a whole lot of volume, but they do have decent sell-through between 0 and 35. If you end up finding 5 or 6 pairs of these, you may end up blowing up the market. You may ruin that sell-through. Activewear jackets, they do make them. You got 185 sold, 164 listed, 112% sell-through across all prices. That's actually pretty good. You actually also have 5 sold above $100 plus, so that actually is worth looking up just to see what they are. $60 to $100, we got 45 sold, 54 listed with an 83% sell-through rate. That's actually pretty good. The activewear jackets do make some decent money. Let's take a quick look and see what Fred Perry is doing for activewear jackets across all prices. Actually, let's check between $60 to $100. All right, we got 42 solds for Fred Perry. It looks like track jackets. All right, that makes sense. Track jackets from Fred Perry seem to be doing okay. These are going to be polyester usually. Let's go ahead and check material. Polyester, they do not do wool apparently, so polyester is probably going to be your best bet. That's not bad. Yeah, full zip track jackets for Fred Perry. All right, let's get back to our search. We can go back to activewear jackets. So Fred Perry track jackets, full zip, do pretty well. Let's see, activewear shorts, not great volume. Tracksuit sets, you may find a few tracksuit sets, but they do not sell as well. It does seem that the tracksuit jackets specifically are selling better. Women's pre-owned clothing, they do make them for Fred Perry. Take this with a grain of salt. A lot of the information here does not get through to the men's or women's pre-owned clothing category because that category is absolutely massive. There are millions of listings in that category. eBay has a hard time giving you all the information all at once. So we go through the individual ones. Check over here. That's 0 listed, 234 sold, but it wasn't all the information for Fred Perry. So you got to go through the individual specifics to find out the real details. It does help as a broad search category to find out what is good sales when you're looking at those broad categories, but you want to learn more about each brand whenever you find a bailout brand. All right, so Fred Perry, women pre-owned tops. The pre-owned tops is actually also a broad category because there's 4 or 5 individual types of tops for women. We're going to go to blouses, t-shirts, nothing good there. The pre-owned button-ups do have a little bit of volume, not great sell-through, but there is some there. Tank tops, no good. Polos, Fred Perry polos for women's actually do have almost 100% sell-through rate between $0 and $35. You get 71 sold and 72 listed. It does seem like there is some value to be had between $60 to $100 and 78% sell-through rate. So go ahead and make sure you're doing your research when you start to learn about this stuff. Fred Perry dresses. I think actually Fred Perry dresses might be worth a look. That's a bailout category. Let's take a look at that. Link 28. That was in the $60 to $100 category. So type in Fred Perry. We got 26 sold at the moment. We always want to get rid of completed items. Completed items could be auctions that did not actually make a sale. Let's see, we see Fred Perry, Amy Winehouse off the top. Fred Perry, Amy Winehouse. All right, whatever collaboration this is, we're going to go ahead and add that keyword in real quick. Just type in the word Amy. That is 21 results for solds and 39 listed. It does seem they do not have a fully 100% sell-through rate. Let's type in Fred Perry again, just check our numbers. Yeah, that is, oh yeah, that was $60 to $100. So it does have a lower sell-through rate. Let's go ahead and drop this price range down to $60 price max. That is 7 solds to 3 listed. So that's a 200% sell-through rate. That's pretty good. Let's see. Let's go ahead and take a look at the tags real quick. All right. You're going to want to take a look out for Fred Perry, the Fred Perry and heart symbols right there with the Amy Winehouse Foundation. All right. Let's go ahead and move on. Women's coats and jackets, no good. Jeans, pants. Sweaters, suits and blazers, nothing good there. Got a little bit of volume in activewear. You're probably not going to want any of the activewear stuff. Activewear jackets. They do have a decent sell-through rate between $0 and $35 with 111% sell-through rate. You got 10 sold and 9 listed. Tracksuit sets, sports bras. And that'll be it for Fred Perry. All right, thanks for your time.